Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we are going to be watching a video created by Daddynegan. It is called Damon, Salvatore, the Big Bad Vampire. So I'm pretty excited to jump into this because Damon is probably my favorite character from the TVD show. In the larger universe I'd probably say Klaus, but you know, Damon's still pretty much up there. And so I'm really excited to see how this video goes. I'm assuming that even though it's calling him the Big Bad Vampire, we're gonna see his entire journey because it's almost a 10-minute video. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the reaction.
Why don't you do yourself a favor and stay away from my brother?
And you must be.
Is that talking to Damon?
He's a monster.
Or Caroline? Oh no, that was
Damon,
a
Salvatore.
flashback.
Heard great things about you.
Damon.
Great things? I don't know about that one.
It's weird. I'm a dick.
Oh, him laying on the side of the road is just...
Why are you here, Damon?
Why are you here after all these years?
Someone's
Can't we
gonna
just
die.
give it a rest?
You know, Damon once told me that he promised you an eternity of misery.
I promised you an eternity of misery.
What could his brother have ever done to inspire so much hatred?
Oh,
You just
Enzo.
really
Enzo's
remind
voice.
me
I don't really
of
like
someone.
Enzo.
After all these years, it's still only Kathy.
She knew where you were, Damon.
And she didn't care.
You really are.
That's Anna, right?
Why
Yeah.
are you being like this?
What are you really doing in this difficult?
I feel so bad for Caroline at the start of the series, but it's weird that they never went around of actually addressing what happens there.
Big bad vampire out here.
You know, it's all fun and games, Damon, huh? But wherever you go, people die.
What
That is
happened
true.
to you, Damon? You used to be so sweet and polite.
Oh, that Damon died a long time ago.
When you died.
You're afraid of me.
Anyone,
He just tore someone's head off.
anytime, any place.
I choose to be this way.
You do not come into my town.
Flat out, Damon is the coolest of all the vampires in the TVD show. With the exception of the originals. It's so cool.
Nothing good about him.
I wouldn't try it again.
Don't ever do that again.
And back to the past.
But what?
How he turned.
Together.
My life has been over for a century and a half, Stephan.
For being the guy who made you turn 145 years ago.
Since you took it from me.
What I did was selfish.
That it
I didn't
was.
want to be alone.
Got what you wanted. You and me.
It's gonna be an eternity of misery.
Nice act.
Please give me another chance.
Guess I just need my brother.
Is any of it real?
In love with his brother's girl.
You Salvatores are truly pathetic when it comes to women.
I like that sentiment because, in truth, that's probably the real him. Like the kind aspect of him, because that's who he was before turning. But like he became what he was, kind of out of anger. I think like his brutality and everything came from his hatred from his brother, and that's how he became a lot more vindictive and cruel and evil in a sense. Before that, he was just a guy who went to war, didn't agree with the war, abandoned the war, and this is the Civil War. He was on the side of the South, right? And his father hated him for abandoning the war. At that point, his father was also like terrible. Before that, he falls in love with this girl who, I mean, he had already met her. I don't remember if it was right before the war started or he visited home or something like that, and he met Catherine, and then he abandoned the war, and then, you know, him and Catherine were, like, he was in love with Catherine, but Catherine was actually in love with Stephan. And then from there, all of his loss, I think, after losing Catherine turned into hatred and aggression towards his brother. And then also, like, you know, I think he turned off his humanity at one point probably too, but I don't remember exactly on that. But it's an interesting story because this is like, you see where he started, and then he went down a dark path for 145 years, and then he is able to reconcile his past and not become who he was, but become someone new and grow, and it's very cool. I really like his arc in the series.
They wanted to save.
A woman, I guess.
Oh, was that after checking the tomb?
Doesn't it always come down to the love of a woman?
It wasn't real, Damon. There's no world without her.
You know,
It
I'm
was
looking at
real
this
for him because he was never
I've never
compelled.
loved you.
I love her. Oh, I know. I've been where you are.
Our love for Catherine.
It was always Stephan. It's always gonna be Stephan.
Damon's a lot like me. He wants to care.
Catherine will only rip your heart out.
And he does it.
Oh, Rose.
Let me do it for
I
her.
feel so bad for what happened to
This is the
Rose,
part where you
man.
give me a dream.
Rose was like the
Rainbow,
best
listen. Rolling.
short-lived character. I think Lexi could have also, like, Lexi's also one of the ones that I'm like, she should have been around a lot longer.
Please.
Careful, Damon.
Better be careful, brother.
It's almost an emotion or whatever.
Enough.
Yeah.
I can't be what other people want.
That scene is so brutal.
What she
Wants me to be, and
I
then
start to think
snap
you
someone's
actually
neck. Or I don't think she snaps her neck.
He's a better man, which means I can't be.
He
who
like
I
attacks
am.
her afterwards. Yeah.
Self is dark.
You're the most important person in my life, and you ruined me. And that's just who you are. So you'll always be a monster.
Well, maybe this is who you are now.
You call this place your hell, that means you feel remorse.
Love does that, Damon. It changes us.
Is Bonnie
Makes
really
you different
surprised
than
there?
You know,
I don't remember. Like,
just keeps getting in the way.
I know
Keeps
Bonnie like
getting
hated
in the way.
Damon before this, but
There's hope for you.
We're more alike than you care to admit, Damon.
I've pretty much been on my own since our little fall.
I don't know. This is actually a question. I don't remember. Does Bonnie completely hate Damon at the end of that journey where they both die together, quote unquote, and then end up being put in the prison world? Or did Bonnie just like kind of not like him or whatever? Like, Damon's the reason why her mom is a vampire. Not necessarily. It's not actually Damon's fault because, you know, Stephan would have done it otherwise. So Damon was actually being merciful to his brother in that situation. But either way, they had to make a choice. Either Bonnie or her mom would become a vampire, and they chose the mom because it's probably a better choice in terms of making Elena happy. But it's interesting. Apart from that, like, I think it's just Damon's brutality, Bonnie's hatred of vampires in general, that kept those two in opposite corners, because they like were begrudgingly working together at times. But this is the transition where it's like in the prison world they're always together, and Bonnie realizes that there are some human elements to Damon, which we as viewers have seen for a long time, but not necessarily all the characters have experienced that with him, which is interesting.
12.
Neither of us can bear the thought of being alone.
Did you ever think that I just need my little brother?
I've missed you, brother.
This is who I am, Jessica.
Why don't you let people see the good in you?
She ruined me. Because when people see good, they expect good.
Don't let your pride.
I really like that line where it's like, if they see good, they expect good. And it's not something that
And I don't want to have to live up
it's not something that Damon wants to do, because he doesn't like having expectations. Yeah,
Each one of you.
he just
fully
wants to
believes that
do whatever he
the one
wants
that can protect
and
us.
not be judged for it.
You and I are the same, Damon. The obstacle standing between two fates.
Damon,
Oh, I didn't mean to pause.
is he the best thing for her?
The worst thing for Elena Gilbert is
Or the worst?
I don't want you to be what other people think that you are.
the two of
A
you.
monster?
Thank you.
I don't know if you remember this, but Liz and
Oh, I also really like Liz's
I
friendship
can see how much you care about
with
him.
him.
Salvatore is my friend. She's good.
A monster? When you lose somebody, every candle, every prayer is not going to make up for the fact that the only thing that you have left is a hole in your life where that somebody that you cared about used to be.
You're gonna get yourself killed. The Damon I remember wouldn't have been that stupid.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have done it for you.
All this over one girl.
I think that's the exact statement that he says, right? I wouldn't have done it for you.
Selfish with you. And can't be selfish with her.
You love Elena. You always will.
I wouldn't have done it for you.
Yeah.
I love you, Elena.
Love is the most powerful.
Oh, that was him getting all the memories, or her getting all the memories back in transition.
I never asked for your respect.
I don't remember how Elena actually gets her memories back.
You are a good brother.
Because all I have is disappointment.
Like, I remember a lot of the show, but the whole thing was that... Oh, wait, I remember now. Okay, I remember. It took me a second. Elena has to go through the anti-magic border, which I don't love that concept, to be honest. But, it gave us a couple things. But Elena has to go through the anti-magic barrier, try not to die, and then she gets all of her memories back because the compulsion is undone. And the compulsion's undone while she's also dying, which is kind of like, oh my gosh. But I would have assumed that, like, kind of like with Tyler, the compulsion, or the first thing that gets undone, I believe, was his hybrid nature, then his vampiric nature, then he was just a werewolf, and then he died. I think that's the order that went in. But for Elena, I felt like I remember she was dying while getting her memories back. I think it was both happening because she immediately started drowning. Meanwhile, with Tyler, it was a lot more gradual, I think, which is interesting. Anyway, let's keep going.
I didn't get the girl.
Never get the girl.
Remember? What?
I love you.
You got the girl?
I really like how
as
they
long
had
as
those
Stephan's
graveyard
in the
scenes,
way,
or I
you
think it was like
know.
1 or 2 times that Rick was just
I got the
standing there.
girl.
And he's like, I miss you
Now don't
too.
screw it up.
Let me do this for you.
No.
I don't see a fairy tale ending for you.
You need to let him go.
Then let me.
That was right
do
before the
this
war,
for
right?
me.
Yeah.
I wonder what'll happen when Elena finally
And I
makes her
think what
choice.
Stephan's saying was the last episode,
All I see
right before
is
he
Stephan
dies.
and Elena.
That dance that they did today. I like you now. Kind of reminded me of when
we dance together?
just the way you are.
Will we see you shake?
I love you, little brother.
You're gonna have to let me go someday.
And it's gonna suck when that day comes.
I love you too.
Is that
You say
Klaus
it like
talking to Damon in like
Every
the
relationship's
20s?
doomed to end.
I think
We were
so.
doomed from the beginning, Elena.
Elena was too good for you.
I'm a fatalist.
Okay, that Augustine guy, like, just trash. Like the Augustine characters were the least interesting characters in the entire series. Also, like, that entire plot line was just boring to me. It was like the season they went to college. The only good parts were Joe. I really liked Joe. I don't know, maybe Joe's family as well. Like, everything relating to the Gemini Coven was pretty cool. Everything with Kai, very cool, the prison world stuff. But everything relating to Augustine was just boring. Enzo, I did not like Enzo as a character at all that season, and I don't know, he never really made it to someone that I actually enjoyed after that. Yeah, I saw that kid, I don't remember his name, the Augustine youngest whatever. It was brutal when we found out what Damon was doing, and that he had been doing it even after he got with Elena, like they were together. And yeah, it's just, beyond that, I don't care, because he was just a boring side character that had nothing interesting going on with him. And then also there was the whole thing with, you know, Elena's dad, which I don't even think they properly explored that. I feel like I don't remember anything from that storyline that was remotely interesting enough to stay in my brain.
She held you back from being the monster you really are.
It's the best thing that ever happened to you.
Promise me this is forever.
It's
Think I know
not.
that?
You're gonna
Kill him
go
without her.
I don't think
and
the people that I care about.
get stuck
Sorry.
in like stasis, basically.
It won't happen again.
I don't need revenge, Damon.
Do you think that
I want
a
like
chance for
you
us?
to ask for
Redemption.
forgiveness or whatever. Oh right. I didn't like Mason either. He was not that
Redemption.
interesting.
If you're gonna be bad with purpose. Otherwise, you're just not worth forgiving.
There is no such thing as redemption.
Absolutely.
Not for you,
Tell you a
Kai.
story.
Not
My brother's
really.
a lot stronger than you think.
You screwed up too
That
much.
vampire that I
You had a
watched
chance
once,
though.
Who eventually became my best friend. Catch.
There's nothing more important than the bond of family.
I was supposed to do the right thing by you and the right thing by my brother.
You won't wake up until she dies.
Yep.
Elena's the only thing that Damon
And
sells
I'm
because God
so
killed him.
happy that Damon
and
did
Bonnie.
not kill Bonnie.
Who would have thought?
I'm
And I
so
just saw a
happy.
side of Damon that I hadn't seen in a while.
Saw my
The
brother.
brother I looked up to.
I always did like the sheriffs in this town.
How much older is Damon? I'm not sure. Because he looked a lot younger in that flashback.
I will be there to pull you back every second, every day. Till you don't need me.
Salvatore's their unshakable bond.
I forgive you.
I envied
for
you
making
or
me
whatever.
What I am.
You love this, don't you?
The Salvatores may fight like dogs, but in the end they would die for each other.
He's the better man.
At least they know what family means.
Goodbye, brother. He's the right man.
Stephan's death was sad.
Will I see them again?
I didn't really like seeing Catherine again in the end, though. I just felt like that was weird. I think it was mostly to have Nina Dobrev in the finale, but which is cool. That being said, I didn't really need it. Also, the whole like devil thing in the last season. Didn't love the whole thing with like the sirens, but having Nina back for that last episode was pretty cool.
Damon.
Hello, brother.
We'll see him.
Hello, brother.
I think you will see.
Isn't that the last line in the show? Yeah. So yeah, that was a fun video. It was really cool, and I was right. It did show the entire, journey that this character takes. It starts off with his entrance in season 1, and then the flashbacks that we get of him. I wish there was a little bit more with Rose, because everything with Rose and the scenes subsequent to her demise, that stuff was like so cool to see. It was such a different part of that character, and something that we had rarely seen. And then also the fall afterwards, the bit of I believe there was a bit of a spiral after that as well, after that loss. So I find this character so fascinating, and this happens a lot with characters that are supposedly super old or have like such a long and crazy history. And that's what I love about shows like this, because they provide so many interesting facets to a character that make them so much more than like a baseline character that's only been alive for like 18 years or 20 years or whatever. When you're talking about other characters in the show, like the characters that we start off with, they have room to grow and change and develop and whatever. But characters like this that start off with such a rich history that you don't know anything about, it gives you so much room to explore and expand upon that character with time, that it's just so cool to see. That being said, that is all I have to say for this video. I had a lot of fun watching this, because Damon is one of my, if not my favorite character in the TVD show, apart from the originals characters, and it's just a lot of fun. That being said, if you like the video, please like the video, comment if you have any ideas on what I should watch in the future, or if you have any thoughts on the video itself, and subscribe for more videos from me on this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.